The Nasdaq, the ES, all going straight to the moon today. What is going on? I'm going to show you guys some beautiful setups that we alerted live on YouTube today, making some money. I almost feel like it's Fresh Cash Friday, but we still got one more day this week. Tomorrow is Fresh Cash Friday. Today was Tasty Thursday Cash. As you can see here on the 15-minute chart, the Nasdaq going from the 13,000 level all the way up there to the 172 for almost about a 200-point move here this morning. We had the GDP numbers come out. We had some volatility in the morning, and then we had a massive move ever since we broke out of this kind of opening range. The market just going straight up right now. The Nasdaq going straight up here on the 15-minute chart, riding literally just riding the trend higher right now. We've got some beautiful setups here today that we made money on and locked it all in beautifully. And you can see right here on the day, locking in $3,418 there. Our largest winning trade, pretty spot on. The average losing trade versus the average winning trade, not the best today. Kind of interesting to see that stat. But you can see definitely some break-even trades today, hitting a couple of break-even trades, almost 10% of my trades today. So if there was 11 trades, so two trades, two trades today, break-even. Some moves up there, some breakouts. And first things first, what we want to do at open a lot of times is look for levels from the pre-market area. We talked about this area right here. That 50 area, we talked about the low kind of down here. At open, we had this range. So we knew that there was a low from the pre-market down there at the 88 level, and then the high there at the 50. So we're basically inside of this range at open. And what we want to wait for is a breakout of that range. You know, this is the same idea that we used to trade when we traded penny stocks and things like that, but this also applies to the overall stock market. So we're basically waiting for that opening range to break. Once that opening range is established, and once we get the breakout, well, then we can feel pretty confident to want to get that move in the certain direction that the market's moving. So if the market moves higher out of that opening range, after, basically the first 30 minutes, we finally break to the upside here. Well, that's pretty bullish. We're thinking the momentum will continue higher. The market will want to push up after breaking out of that overall, range, that sideways range there that we're looking for. So that was kind of the first things first. We want to wait for that opening range breakout. Sometimes it happens in the first 15 minutes. Sometimes it happens a little bit longer. But again, you're just identifying that range that we're first opening up, that first opening range. We actually did get a little spike above it, but we don't want to just buy just because we're breaking out of that range. We want to buy when we have our setup. So the setup for me today really was this one here off of the 80s. We got our indicator on there. This is the Lux Algo indicator. If you guys want to learn more about Lux Algo, there's links down below. But this is the Lux Algo trend line break indicator on the chart. I'm looking at the 15-minute chart here as well. You can see at open, we finally break out that 15-minute candle, kind of just really top heavy, and we get up here above that 80 level. So the 15-minute chart looking pretty bullish. We got the price action concepts on there. Looking to the left, we don't have anything really that 80 level, and then we're looking for a push up there towards the 33s. So kind of what I was looking for here was I want to get that break above 80 for that push up there towards the 110, 120 level. We got a pivot point at the 127. So there's the breakout right here. You can see what's interesting about this move. What I talked about on the live stream as well is we see how the market is pushing. We're showing strength. We pushed out of that opening range, right? We pushed out of the opening range. This was our breakout of the opening range. So we pushed up. We got stuck right there at the 90s. We start to pull back. Where do I want to be entering? There's no reason for me to enter here. I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to buy here. I'm not going to even buy here. I'm really just waiting for my trend line to break. I'm waiting for my signal. I'm waiting for everything to line up. All right, so we are waiting for a couple things. We got the MACD. We want the MACD to cross up there, which we ended up getting there. We got our signal. We're above the 21. Everything is lining up beautifully. And that's what we're looking for, that breakout. So we got the breakout right there above the 80s and pushed up there to the 110s. And a nice little 20, 30 point move, which is all you need. 20 points, 30 points per trade. I'm not going to lie. Like, that's going to make you rich really quickly. If you can just keep waiting and being patient and taking those 20, 30 point trades every day, just back, just back to back, day to day, waiting for those setups, being patient and getting those setups. Well, then when that happens, you can get really excited. What's interesting about this next breakout, we actually traded this one live on YouTube. You can watch the live stream. We talked about this whole entire thing playing out the way that it played out. So we are looking for a pullback here into the 80s, which was this previous area of resistance turning into support now. So what do we get? We get the bounce off of this 80 level. That's telling me that the bulls are stepping in. There's pressure to push this higher. But again, where do I want to be buying? I don't want to be buying here. I'm not going to be buying here. I'm not going to be buying here. I'm not going to be buying here. I'm not buying anywhere here. I'm just not buying any of this area. There's no reason for me to buy. All the reason I'm buying is when we get something to happen. Like, I'm reacting to something happening, right? Like, I want an action and then I want to react. So for me, we talked about on the live stream, I wanted to see this push above the 13,100 area. So we wanted to get the push above 13,100. We want our signal. We got the MACD to cross up. So the MACD is bullish at this point at 1105. The MACD cross, which is actually right here. So the MACD crossed here. So we knew the MACD was bullish. Now we're just waiting for our signal break, which is that trend line right there to break. And that's exactly what we're looking for. We got the push here. Where's our target? Our target was the high there, 28s. Obviously, like, we need to get through that. But our real target for this was up to the 30s because we had a pivot point at the 27.25s. So that pivot point there at the 27.25s, you can see this insane move here on the 15-minute chart. We get the breakout here from this like bull flag on the 15-minute chart. We get the breakout and we push up there all the way to the 46s on the 15-minute chart there. So this was our entry. It was all alerted during the live stream. We're above the 21. We're above the VWAP. MACD's bullish. We got a pivot point. That's all the pivot points, like right here. So my target was that 30 level we talked about. If we get the break over 100, we're looking for a push up there to the 30s. And look at where we're at now. We're all the way up here. We went to 70s, 77, 78 high. So, I mean, obviously coulda, shoulda, woulda, but if you would have gotten long there at the hundreds and just kept riding this, so you could have put your stop basically below 20 and this thing would have went all the way to the 70s. Not a bad trade right there, my friends. Not a bad trade. But again, I said again, what's the big moral of the story here? What's the big focus? Like always, is we don't need to do anything until, all of our things line up. Our breakout strategy lines up, our everything. MACD, we're above the VWAP. We're breaking through pivot points. Everything's lining up. We're happy, and the market's going higher. The moral of the story, like always, is trade what you see. Don't worry about like, oh, this can't go higher. Oh, I don't think the market can keep going higher. Oh, the market's not going to go higher. Oh, the market, it's so easy to kind of create reasons to why you believe the market won't go higher, why you think the market can't go higher, why you think something's going to happen. But at the end of the day, we don't need to predict where the market's going to go. We don't need to predict what's going to happen. We need to just trade the setups. When we get the setups that we're looking for, when everything's lining up, when everything is telling us to buy, that's when we got to buy. We can't sit here and be like, well, I just don't think the market's going to go higher. I got a feeling the market just can't go higher. Like, that's not a way to trade, right? We're trading our setups. We're trading our reasons to get in and get out of trades based on our rules, our process, our edge, whatever you have, however you have it planned out. But we got to enter the trades. You can't sit here and just go back and forth with yourself arguing like, well, it can't go higher. It can't go higher. It can't go higher. Watching it go higher for 100 points. Think about that. Like, did you sit here today and just watch it go higher and higher and higher and higher without pulling the trigger? Could you have maybe just placed a trade?